from the station putting local first. You're watching Studio 9.
Welcome to Studio 9. I'm your host, Robert Bettis. This is Positive Southwest Living, a chance to be a tourist in your own town. Would you like to adopt a pet? Well, there's one thing good about the pandemic. Over at the Humane Society, it actually means you get more time and personal time with each little pet that you're considering adopting. What is it like to be a living donor? Well, you're looking at one. I gave my kidney to my son, and we're going to talk to a business owner in El Paso who's on the waiting list, and maybe you can help him out. Are you 65, 70, 75 years old? It's not too late to start planning for your retirement. We talked to my friends at GECU Financial Services. Finally, do you have little kids but you love to bowl? Well, guess what? Oasis Lanes has a brand new toy. It combines bowling and video games. Your kids are gonna love it. When I was 9 years old, my dad decided not to be a detective anymore and bought a bowling alley. So I either had to learn to bowl or get out of the family. So I learned to bowl, and I'm out here at Oasis Lanes on Zaragoza with General Manager Steve Martin. Steve, bowling runs in the family. I love to bowl.
Great, that's great to hear, man. I'm glad you guys came out to see us today. We have a lot of great things to show you guys today on the new concept that we've been doing here.
Steve, I've been looking around here, and I used to come sing karaoke a couple of years ago. You remember, you'd heard that screeching coming from that bar. Anyway, it's gorgeous. Look at this place. You've totally remodeled it. Tell us what you've done. The arcade is different. The restaurant is different.
Yeah, starting at the arcade right now, we did a lot of innovations on our games. We built our own games. We make bigger, badder games. We also have our jumping space over there that you can book for your private events. We also have our new bar, our new patio space. Right now we created extra seating, extra shade, extra fans, more mist, more TVs. You know, game day's coming up this Thursday, so we got a lot of space for you to come out and watch the game now. Walking into our restaurant, we have a new brick oven pizza oven that everything that we make now is from scratch. From our pizza dough to our sauce to our wings are battered ourselves, our patties for our sliders, our buns, everything is made from scratch.
Yeah, you walk into that restaurant. What's the name of the restaurant?
Frankie's.
You walk into Frankie's and, oh, gourmet pizza. That is good
stuff.
Really
does it, yeah.
Okay, I guess we're going to do some bowling. You have some new technology to show me, right?
We do.
Can I get a size 10 clown shoe, please? I'll have red, yellow, and green, please.
Unfortunately, that's not the way it works anymore. We do have these new slide-ons that you add to your shoe. Are you right-handed or left-handed?
Right-handed.
All right, just go and slide this onto your left shoe.
Are you serious? That's it?
Yeah.
So you wear your original shoes? You don't have to put on the big clown shoe? What?
Unless you come in sandals or flip-flops or something like that.
Awesome. Okay. So you've got a program called Best X, and this is not for traditional bowlers. You still have traditional bowling.
We do.
But this takes bowling to a whole new level. Tell us about that.
Well, it's more adhered now to families, to big groups, to corporate events, to birthday parties, anything really. What it is now, it's not your traditional old school bowling, your 10-pin bowling. We do have 6 different games that are very interactive, and right now you'll see them right now once we get them going. They're very interactive with each other. It makes it more fun, makes them a little bit more competitive with each other. It's not so much, did you get a 250? It's, whose character looks the best? Whose house did you break down the first? Who got closer to the bullseye with the arrows?
So wait a minute. Back in 1979, there was a lot of smack talk with bowling. Yeah. So now smack talk is digital, basically.
Correct.
You want to bring your kids, and now they get a character, you say, and it's more than just bowling. It's a whole interactive experience.
Yeah, you can even take all your pictures. You and your family can take up to 3 pictures of each other: a sad face, an angry face, a happy face, and the system actually integrates those pictures with your score. If you get a gutter ball, it'll have people laughing at you. It'll have you all sad. If you get a strike, it'll have you kind of hooray for yourself. And everybody high-fiving you. It's very interactive now.
So, on the new system, you only roll 1 ball. Oh, no pressure at all. No pressure on the 1 ball.
Yeah, on the new games, it's only 1 ball now. It's not the traditional, throw 1 and then pick up a spare, or if you get a strike. Now it's just 1 ball on our new 6 games.
Now, please tell me you still have the automated gutter protectors so that I can be assured to hit something?
We do, but those are only for 12 and under.
No, come on, Steve. Come on, no, you'll let me. All right, anyway, a lot of fun. You've got to bring your kids, you've got to bring your family out to Oasis Lanes. It's just absolutely gorgeous and amazing entertainment. Steve, thank you so much. And if you want more information, you just go to ktsm.com, click on that Studio 9 tab. I think I only knocked down about 10 pins total, but my monster was pretty good, so thank you so much. Now, you'd like to adopt a pet. Well, guess what? The pandemic has actually made things better over at the Humane Society. That's coming up next. Now be honest, when you come home at the end of the day, is there anything sweeter than someone like Pumpkin waiting for you when you come in to give you a big old sweet kiss of sugar? I'm here at the Humane Society of El Paso, and joining me now is Julie Rutledge. She is the Director of Operations. Pumpkin is so sweet, and he does not stop purring since I put him in my hands.
He's happy to be with you.
Oh, there's so many sweet pets, and there's so many people who really need a sweet pet. Talk about that.
Absolutely. You know, we've got mostly dogs and cats here. Puppies, kittens, and it's, you know, like you say, to come home, it's unconditional love. They're always happy to see you. You've had a bad day, they're ready to make it all better.
I love it. I love it. Okay, so Pumpkin is officially up for adoption.
He
is that right?
absolutely is.
Okay, so things have changed here at the Humane Society a little bit in order to protect people, and they've changed the process. So walk us through the process. Let's say I'm like, I want a pumpkin and I want a pumpkin right now. How do I do it?
Okay, well, what we're doing is adoptions by appointment. So you can go online to our website and make an appointment, or you can call on the phone. And we set you up for an appointment depending on what we have available. So we have limited number of slots throughout the day. And so day of the week may be an issue. Obviously, Saturdays and Sundays are more popular for everybody.
Okay.
But so we set you up for an appointment. We allow total time would be about 2 hours for an appointment.
So before the pandemic, and I'm going to set Pumpkin down here, before the pandemic, it was a little bit chaotic. People just came in and did their thing. But you're saying now you get a little more time with the animals.
You
Is
get
that
a little
right?
more and help from the staff as well.
Oh, look, Moon came
Moon
over.
came to say hi
And
to Pumpkin.
Moon is sniffing at Pumpkin. Sorry, Pumpkin. Moon's real friendly. Okay,
Yes.
so they get personal time with the animals.
With more personal time with the animals and also more help from the staff. So we will, before coming in for the appointment, once we set the date, the time and date, then one of our animal care associates will call the potential adopter the day before to get more information about what is it that you're looking for. Personality, activity level, different aspects to have a better match. And so we'll identify 2 or 3 animals at the shelter that, based on personality, we think are going to meet your needs. We also have pictures of all our adoptable animals online. So you can go online and look and see if there's some.
Look at
Pumpkin's
Pumpkin
gonna,
go. Look at her go.
There he
Oh,
goes.
yeah, she good. Okay, good. That's fine. That's fine. We're good. We're good.
So then when you arrive,
They're all ready to go.
we've got animals pre-identified, and so we can more closely meet your needs. You have more quality time to spend with our animal care associates, and if an animal doesn't quite fit what you're looking for, then we've got someone who could very readily switch it out for another one.
Now, when you adopt a pet, it comes ready to go. It's had its shots, it's been chipped, it's had all of the appropriate neutering and spaying.
Spain, absolutely.
Right.
It's been tested. If it's a cat, it's been tested and negative for feline AIDS, feline leukemia. If it's a dog, it's been tested for heartworm. It's been on heartworm preventative. I mean, so they're all ready to go. And so when you come now, you can leave, if you can find that perfect match that you fall in love with within that time period, you get to go home with a brand new family member.
Julie, Pumpkin's gone, but I'm going to find Pumpkin. And Moon is so sweet, and thank you so much for having us. And if you want more information on adopting a wonderful, wonderful pet and having fur and love in your life, will you go to ktsm.com, click on that Studio 9 tab. I got a vacuum and I cleaned off all the love from the Humane Society. Now, coming up next, we're going to talk to a man who's been waiting on the transplant list for a long time, and you'll learn why. Don't be afraid to be a living donor.
Is your water at home really doing its job? KTSM, Purity Bay, and the Good Water Guy are giving away a water filtration system. Log on to ktsm.com and click on the Promotions tab to enter.
Hey everyone, this is Studio 9. This is Positive Southwest Living. So send us your ideas for segments. Cool people, interesting places, things to do. Bettis at ktsm.com.
Are we still rolling? All right, good deal.
Back in December of 2019, I donated my kidney to my son. And I gotta say, it was probably one of the best things that ever happened to me. My son is 6 foot tall. He's healthy as a horse. He's a student, a medical student at the University of Texas in Austin. And it was the best thing that ever happened. And as you can see by looking at me, you don't need that second kidney because my energy never changed. Well, the next gentleman you're about to meet has received a couple of kidneys, and he owns a company here in El Paso, Monarch Building Services, with 70 employees that clean our city. It's so nice to see you, Thomas Taylor. Nice to see you.
Nice to see you too, Robert.
Yeah, you've got a successful company, Monarch Building Services, and so you manage a lot of people, clean a lot of homes and buildings.
Yes, and it's been very productive for us, and I enjoy it. I enjoy what I do. I enjoy meeting the customer and that kind of customer relationship, you know, and being on dialysis. You know, I've had a couple of transplants, but I'm on dialysis. I don't tell a lot of people that.
He was barefooted in his suit, and I was shocked. I said, "What are you barefooted for? Why are your shoes on? Why are you barefooted?" And he told me that his kidneys had failed. And it took me about 6 or 7 seconds before I told him he could have one of my kidneys.
I thought, sure, this guy, you know, he doesn't know me. He's not a relative. Why would he be willing to give his kidney, you know, to me, someone that he's just coming and exterminating the office? So I kind of just shrugged it off.
But I do tell people that are at my clinic because I know what it's like. And it's not a death sentence for the most part. If you're positive about it, watch what you're eating, watch what you're drinking, and follow a strict diet. And it's a little hard to do at first, but once you're used to it, you have to think about, are you living to eat or eating to live? And that's how I look at things.
Question, how often do you have to go and hook up for your dialysis, and how long is that process?
I go 3 days a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. It's about 4 hours. So you really lose about 5 or 6 hours those 3 days. I make up for that time. I work weekends or Sundays if I have to. And I try to work while I'm there. I walk in, if you walked in my clinic, I've got my briefcase there and I'm working on proposals or reading articles, reading about disinfecting and different things that you know, entailed in our business. So I keep busy.
Now my son Mason, he had to do home dialysis for about 5 months before we could get to the surgery and do the transplant. I don't want to say he was angry.
Well, you do go through that angry stage. I did too. I was angry. And what got me out of it back in, I guess it was 93 or 94, I was in the hospital with an illness, and the nurse, I was angry, and they could tell. She said, "Come to me down the hall." And she walked down the hall. She said, "See this little girl here? Her name is Jessica. She's 9 years old. She's been on dialysis since she was 5. Ever since then, it changed my whole perspective. I was in my 30s when I started on dialysis. So I looked at her and said, you know what? If she can do this, I think I can. I've lived quite a bit, you know, from my 30s. Hadn't lived a lot, but I consider, you know, in my 30s, I had done quite a bit of things, you know.
Thomas, ideally though, we've got about 100,000 people in the country waiting on a list. You're waiting on a list right now. You've had a couple of successful transplants, but what went wrong?
I've got an autoimmune disease that's affected it, but now they've got some new medicines that when I get my next one, I think this will last me the rest of my life. You know, it's just a matter of time. I've got a lot of antibodies, just waiting for a donor to come through. And, you know, I believe in God and it's going to happen.
Amen.
You know, and I keep healthy. I exercise every day. That's one thing I tell all the patients that are there. Exercise, watch your diet, you know, and stay active. You don't have to, you know, stop working. I work 40, 50 hours a week sometimes.
Well, let's talk about that transplant list. Okay, so with 100,000 people waiting, how long do you think you might have to wait before you know, that golden opportunity opens again. Now with the new medicines, this might be a kidney for life. You might not have to ever do it again. How long?
I'm high on the list, but I've been waiting this time 10 years.
10 years?
10 years. So I'm still on the list. I got a lot of antibodies. I got a call not too long ago, didn't come through, but it's all in God's hands.
That's
you
right.
know, and if everyone would get on their driver's license, there will be a donor,
right?
You know, or a live donor, because you can live. You're
Yeah.
proof of it. Live with
Hey,
one kidney.
Hey,
you
look
yeah,
at this.
Exactly.
Do I seem? I'm 50 years old. I have the
Right.
energy of a 20-year-old.
Right.
There's no change. You don't
Right.
need it.
Or put it on your driver's license if you want to be a
Yes.
donor.
Right. And they say, well, I don't want to do that because they won't save me if I'm in an accident. That is
So
not
untrue.
true.
So untrue.
Thomas,
Yes.
thank you so much. And this is good information. If you want more information about kidney donation or the transplant list, you go to ktsm.com, click on that Studio 9 tab. Thomas Taylor, what a gentleman. A pleasure to know him and glad to introduce him to you. Now coming up, it doesn't matter if you're 70 years old or older. You need to plan for retirement, and GECU can help. Coming up.
Is your water at home really doing its job? KTSM, Purity Bay, and the Good Water Guy are giving away a water filtration system. Log on to ktsm.com and click on the Promotions tab to enter.
Hey everyone, this is Studio 9. This is Positive Southwest Living. So send us your ideas for segments. Cool people, interesting places, things to do. Bet us at ktsm.com. Everybody likes to talk about, well, I'm a baby boomer, or I'm Gen X, or I'm a millennial. But whether you're a baby boomer or Gen X or a millennial or Gen Z, I don't even know what they're calling the kids, you've got to think about turning 67 years old, which means you need a financial plan. Joining me now from GECU Investment Services, this is Jorge Macias. Jorge, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you for having me this lovely morning.
Okay, Jorge, let's start out. I'm 50 years old, so I am clearly a Gen Xer, okay?
Okay.
And how old are you?
34.
You're 34.
34 years old.
You are squarely a millennial.
That's what they say.
Okay, so I guess if you were born sometime between like 1982 and 2000, you're a millennial.
Correct.
Okay, now building a financial plan, when you're in your 30s, can you ever envision yourself turning 67 years old?
You don't. Seems like, way down the road. Seems like a very, very far away.
I can plan whenever, right?
You
but
could.
You would say it's time to start planning right now.
The best time is now, not tomorrow, today is your best time.
Millennials, they have a lot of strikes against them, okay? They went through the first financial crisis in 2008.
Correct.
We've got another pandemic here, the COVID-19, stock markets all over the board. So what would you say to that 34-year-old or 30-year-old who's got, say, a job making $30,000, $35,000 a year? What do you say? Where do they begin? How do you start?
Well, for millennials, it's been, very tough. We have a lot of millennials that are overeducated and underpaid. Along with that, you graduate, you have a degree, you have a master's, PhD, you graduate, it's hard to find a job, and a job that, is in the career that you're in. On top of that, hard to find a job that pays you what you should be getting paid. On top of that, real estate's also difficult, entry to purchase your first home. So best advice is start with your current income now and try to cut expenses. There's always room for cutting large expenses.
If you have a 401k, if your
Correct.
company offers that, what would you say starting there?
Well, start there. Start with your company. Find out a little bit more about the 401k program. See how it works. Talk to your benefits administration. A lot of the times, 401k, chances are your employer matches a certain percentage. So, for example, let's say you're making $50,000 a year. Okay, you put in 10% of your salary. That's $500 you're putting into a 401k. If your employer is putting 3% of that, that's an extra $150. So total, you're putting $650 every month into this 401k shelter. Over time, and as I mentioned, time's your best friend. Let's say over 40 years, you've probably contributed about $270,000 into your 401k. Your employer probably put about 72. And that account has now grown to 1.3 million.
1.3
million.
You could definitely retire. So if they don't have a 401k, of course, they can come talk to you, Jorge, is that right?
Of course. At GECU Investment and Trust Services, we're here to help our members, our community, when it comes to the questions of financial planning. And as an expert, we're here to understand their situation, their goals and objectives, and provide solutions for them, depending on what they're trying to accomplish.
Jorge, thank you so much. Bottom line, do something. If you have a 401k or not, they can help you at GECU. For more information, ktsm.com, click on the Studio 9 tab. We hope you enjoyed Studio 9, and we'll see you again next time. Keep the ideas for great segments coming. rbettis at ktsm.com. Until next time, keep smiling, keep shining, El Paso.